just to remind everybody that this meeting is being recorded, and I will be sharing it on the website later, but I'm going to go ahead and invite Monir. He is our expert here. He's going to talk to us about product design versus UX design. So Monir, I'm going to let you be sharing your screen in just a minute, and then you can share your presentation.
Okay, can you see my screen?
I can see it.
Yes. First of all, thank you for having me. I really appreciate that so much. So let me say, before we begin, let me turn off my cam in order to become internet flows much better. So, okay, let's begin our presentation. So the title is what the product and what product design and DX design. What's the difference between them? What? So as you know, the first question that comes in mind is what's the difference between the product design and the UX design. So let's begin to explain one by one. So as you know, product design, when you are a product designer, it defines as like a full stack designer, because you are you need to have much more skills like the UX, the UI, coding, but not necessary to be coding, but to have more information or about HTML and CSS and JavaScript, how they work, especially in the HTML and CSS. When you want to do a design, you make a design that the front end developer will end up making it, and you have also just little of information about project management, how to organize your things, and of course you will be a problem solver. So as you know, a product designer is kind of a designer who see the project from end to end. It means that you need to understand the customer's needs and wants, and through the process from it to the final delivery. So what the UX designer? So the UX designer is focusing much more on the user satisfaction and ensuring that the product is fulfilling the user need, because the UX designer it's like advocate to what users needs and want. So the UX designer will be take control of the scope of the design thinking process, from the research to the ideation and the remain people driving at all times. So it will be the have a full control of the design thinking process. So the user the UX designer roles, it needs to be getting into what users mindset, what they what the pinpoints that users really have, and how you make the user testing and prototyping to make sure that you solve a problem for these users, as they ensure that you are responsible to ensure that the project is optimized as possible for the user to use it and make give them as they say a delightful user experience. So what are the similarities between the product design rules and the UX design rules? So in the section of the teamwork, both of them needs to collaborate, communicate, and cross functional uh, thing, doing cross functional work, and also the leadership. In the design methods, they need to do the principles of design, the process. Both of them use the user flows, prototypes, and also the web mobile platforms, and also the wireframing. And in the idea, in the ideation, they need to talk about the concepts, new opportunities, and needs to be creative. In the research, both of them do the user testing, user research, and the usability. And in the business, both of them talk about the stakeholders to the stakeholders and the marketing. So what about the differences? In the project, the UX designer focus more about let's say the the UX design environment, as they say the project basis, as I said the, des- uh, the design thinking process. The UX designer might focus much more on it, and in solving the problems, the product designer are the environment are very process oriented and try to identify and reduce the problems within. It means that the product design focus much more on the in finding the real problem that user have. So in the and also in the quality, the indicate that the product designer are much more responsible because it's follow the end-to-end process from the research until the final uh, the final product, and working with the front end developer and others, and maybe the back end developer, and to make sure that the project is is qualified to have it's say to be 100% what he think of it, and what he is let's say of what he is uh, what their vision is. So also in the platform, and while the product design is much more of leveraging the reusability, scalability of the platform, I mean the design, to increase capability and efficiency. And in the visual design and UI design terminology, UX design environment uh, use the term visual design uh, more compared to the product design, which is much more of let's say of focus more on accessibility of the project itself while doing the UI design. So, what soft skills are important for both of them? As you know, empathy it's very important for the for talking for to really understand the user needs, the pinpoint of it, what they needs and wants, and also to improve the product values and to be as they need, I need to be human centric with the genuine empathy while talking to user and needs to truly understand their pain points before in order to give them the solution that solve their problem and also making a delightful experience while these users use the product. Also in the about the collaboration, so that will be more effective while you need to involve the stakeholders in the earlier process in order to make the progress working smoothly. Like with if there is other UX designer or product designer or PM or marketers or any other team in order to collaborate and also welcome in their insights about the project. Uh, Curiosity. As you know, in order to be UX design or product design or anything, you need to have a curiosity of learning new perspective and to be a problem solver in uh, instead of just uh, having great skills or wanted to achieve results. For example, the main problem of some of the UX design and product design is to see the results first. For example, they already have in mind what they are going to design instead of talking to the users and truly understand the problem of of the users. So also the critical thinking, as you know, when you are evaluating a potential solutions, you need to truly critique what you are designing, not just because it's beautiful or looks nice, or you need to see the accessibility of it and if and also the experience about user if it's truly solve the problem or not, because there is only two ways in order you either solve the problem for the users or you will add another problem to the users. So one thing that said that the difference it's not it's going to be let's say the same as as in the future, because the reason one is that the industry changing very fast. The product design and the UX design also moving very fast because there are a lot of changes happening. So you always you can see that the job descriptions uh, they look the same and different. We will talk about it next. So the end business goals should always needs to have in mind while we are designing something. We need to solve the business goals, the business goals, yes, and also the user's needs and wants. You need to be both, not just the user needs and forget about the business. Because as you know, UX designer or product designer, our roles is working in business and in the solving users because you need to work in a business to solve something. Also, the reason three, the jobs ads themselves are not showing the difference between the roles of responsibilities between the product design and UX design. Some sometimes you see that UX design have have some skills who needs to be in the product design, and some of them product design and needs to have other things. So the reason for is that titles is just a name because what it's not reflects you or don't make you I mean what skills and capabilities you have is is not defined but the job title that you have. And instead of focusing on titles, you need to focus on the assignment that you are working with and also improve yourself and in the soft skills and in the hard skill is to improve yourself. As I also end up saying that life is better when you are living while sharing, caring, and giving. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. If there is any question.
Thank you, Monir. That was a really good presentation. Really helped to clarify, the basic similarities and the differences with product design and UX design. And and I'm sure if anyone here has questions, please feel free to ask. This is an opportunity. Yeah, Caitlin, you can unmute yourself. Let me see. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I think it was Justine that had a question.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it was. I did have a question. Thank you. First of all, thank you for doing this. I am currently studying UX UI design, and one of the things that I've kind of struggled with is figuring out where UX design fits with all of the jobs that exist on this, on the sort of workflow of making a product. You mentioned that product the people who work on the products tend to have as like an extra coding experience. And I'm wondering if in your experience in the industry, it tends to be useful for UX designers to also have coding experience, or does that never really come into play?
Thank you, Justin. I mean that the the coding experience is not to have an is not necessary for coding, but for example to understand what you need to, for example when you are making a website, designing a website. For example, do you use for example 12 12 grid system when you for when you use this 12 grid system, use the container. For example, 90%. Let's say we are designing for platform for computer 14 by 40, 14. I mean 1440 pixels. For example, when you are using it, you need, for example, to do the 90% as the container, for example, and then you try to use the 12th grade for designing, to make it easy for you to design, and also easy for the front end developer to make it. And also, for example, use the eight pixels for example, and also the spacing. Mm, For example, this 16 and then it's 16 for 32 and things like that. With the spacing between the elements, how the contrast work, and how the hierarchy in the design. And this kind of working, it will help you design a good pro- product that is accessible, and also for the front end developer, when you are handling this project, it's make him or her easy to implement this design. As you know, that the most frustration for any designer, I think it's including you or anyone, is that not seeing what you are designing is 100% implemented. Does that make sense?
Justine, did that answer your question?
Yes, yeah, thank you so much. So it's more to help facilitate you creating your design in a way that A, can actually be implemented, but B, also kind of helps in the relationship with the engineer or the front end designers, so that you're keeping in mind their capabilities and limitations. So thank you.
Yeah.
Now, Munir, I'm also a little bit curious. The UX designer that focuses on the user, like you said, more specifically. The product designer has to, I suppose, kind of wear multiple hats, where there is also some UX design work involved, but also perhaps more, liaising with the business side of things. So, is that how, like in your experience? I know you've done both. How has it been? So, do you end up spending, like as a product designer, do you end up spending maybe 80% of your time with the actual UX design process and just 20% liaising with the business side of things, or is it different? If you can, share some light on that, that would be great.
Yeah. First of all, it depends about every product, about every project. For example, there are some projects that you can spend. You can talk with stakeholders about, for example, their business goals and they want to achieve, and ask them also if there is some internal research about, let's say, the competitive analysis, or for example, if they do survey, or there are, for example, when you want to redesign something, if there is metrics like Google Analytics and things like that, to make you have an overview about what the project's going to work. You are working with the project, you need at least to have a vision about the stakeholders' vision. And then you, for example, you divide everything. Like when you UX research, let's say, I I I I need to do do one-on-one interview and survey and start with the persona and things like that. In the design thinking process. You can design thinking process with the business goals and 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 also the you can talk with the front end developer to see their limitation, how what they can do or what they can. For example, if you the the most the problem I saw in so many UX designer and product design is that to make a design and present it to the stakeholders before asking the front end developer if he or she can design make it live or not. You need in the process you need to also talk in everyone in the first in order to understand, and then you can divide the work if you want to focus much more on UI design, or if there is another UX design or someone like you can help you. You can give them the UX research or the things and the so in this way when you are organizing the work, it becomes much better, and you don't have and you will not find the critical problems in the end because you already organized everything at first. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. No, I understand that that sort of collaboration starts right at the outset with the product design. You have to kind of talk to everybody. Yeah, no, that's a great answer. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We have
And
about like
also, yeah, and also you need to have, let's say, a checklist or something to always track what you did and track what you are going to do. For let's say to small to-do list or, for example, something that you need to organize, like using Trello or Jira or every every product or every tool that that can help you organizing yourself, because the time management play a role very important while you are making the projects, because when you are not tracking your time and what you are doing, you lost you lost your focus, and also you can't manage what you did or what you don't, and end up is like a mess.
that's very helpful. Okay. So to be able to keep track and keep yourself better organized. So Trello or Jira. Hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, no, that's great. Anybody else has any other questions? We have about 5 minutes remaining here. But also, Nomonir, I really want to thank you. I know you're speaking to us from another part of the world, and it's quite late for you. But I really appreciate you taking the time to do this and to share.
It's okay. It's okay. Please feel free to connect with me in the LinkedIn or in website, or contact with me in Instagram or anything. You are welcome, everyone. As you know, as you know that life is better when you are living while sharing, caring, and giving. So,
Absolutely.
yes,
That's
because someone, a friend of mine, said to me that it's better when you are sharing with others, because the information that you have is not belongs to you, because you already bring it from others. so others help you that when to collect this information. I think it's better to give it to others and
Yeah.
collect from others.
Yeah, no, that is so true, and that's exactly what, even with this platform, with the UX Exchange Forum, I just set out for this purpose that I like to speak to people as well to learn, to understand more about different things for UX design and product design and related. So I think it's a great way to share, and that's why, I'm happy to reach out and to host you here with us today. So everybody can go ahead and you can, add Moner to your LinkedIn and follow him on his Instagram page. And he's a great resource to have. So thank you all once again. And we'll see you at another event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
And feel free to connect with me in LinkedIn. I give you my LinkedIn here
Yeah,
in the chat. So feel free to connect.
perfect.
Yeah, I accept everyone.
Oh, that's great. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me and have a good day. See you.
Bye-bye.